Hello and welcome back to the end of another week. We're out in the garden and things are shaping up for planting time. Unfortunately, I think one of my rhubarbs bit the dust, but the other one is kind of hanging in there, except for it's being kind of decimated by snails. The mint is starting to grow back. I have some pots that are getting set up for the potatoes and the sunchokes. So that's happening. I have some other pots that I need to set up. There's a bunch of stuff in the wooden cubes that I'm not sure what's going to go where, but we'll figure it out. I had previously extended this bed, basically making it a little wider or deeper, depending on how you look at it. Because originally when I dug them, this fence had not been repaired yet, or had not been replaced yet. So I was kind of getting it close enough. And I really only want the paths to be 1 meter, which is about 3 feet. So I ended up reclaiming about 6 to 8 inches along this side. So this bed's already done, and I'm going to line it with cardboard again and put potting soil on top of it. And then this one, I am in the process of reclaiming my 6 to 8 inches. So I've stopped at the end of the fava beans since I don't really want to disturb them. So right now I'll probably just continue prepping this section over here, which is empty, and then finish prepping that bed, and that'll give me basically 2.5 beds that are ready to go for springtime. In about a month, I probably plan to plant my tomatoes and things like that. All the winter stuff is still doing its thing, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, you can see we definitely have a snail slug problem. So I need to figure out how to handle that, because otherwise all of my seedlings, like last year, will be decimated by the slugs and snails. I got another arch set up and planted my jasmine today. So that's exciting. I'm hoping that'll grow in nicely, but we'll see. But yeah, speaking of things growing in nicely, I was really concerned about my blueberry plants, but you can barely kind of see that, yes, there are signs of life. So there's 4 blueberries here that I think actually made it, and a tea plant, tea tree type tea leaf thing over there, which I'm still not sure, but it's got some leaves on it, so I'm just letting it do its thing. The fig tree has its signs of life, and all the strawberries got transplanted over here, so that's pretty cool. I am still slowly digging up all of these big, huge bitter dock weeds, because I decided I don't like them, and they're actually quite invasive. Like, kind of once they get settled, they spread a lot. So in the areas that I'm trying to clean up, as I clean, I'm actually digging them out. Earlier today, Francis was forging, so maybe around now I will throw in some video of him forging from earlier today, and I'll see you at the other end of the garden in a minute. So I'm bringing you out to the other end of the garden, 1, because we don't usually come out this way, and 2, because I wanted to show you the grapevines that we had gotten up at like Saint-Emilion when we went out with his sister and brother-in-law. They survived the winter, at least 3 of 4. So this is kind of the best looking one. It's got its little stuff happening. And there's 1 more planted over there, And then there's 2 planted here. And the only one that I'm not really sure about is the one planted way over there by the willow tree. But I do think it also has little buds. So that's cool. It's always exciting when things that I plant actually survive. A couple of weeks ago, I managed to get through and trim down the wisteria. So now it's really starting to bloom out. So hopefully we'll get a lot of really pretty blooms this season. And then in about a month, we're mid-March now. So in about a month, the team is coming back out to redo this side of the roof. I don't talk about it much, but yeah, these are actually the really old asbestos tiles. So even though on the exterior it looks like clay tiles, it's because they put the asbestos tiles up and then put clay tiles on top of them. So yeah, basically we need a special crew to come out and take all of that out. So that's happening in about a month. Yeah, the carport is a disaster. I have a cardboard problem because I use a lot of it up in the garden. And we're working through the wood. So if I come inside, the kitchen's kind of a mess because we had our little party last night. I made baklava. But yeah, what's happening in here? Not much. Actually, that room is exciting. But yeah, not much is happening in the dining room. He did just go and kind of re-glue the wallpaper there. He got our electrical panel. He put the wallpaper around the border and got the door put in, so that's cool. I almost finished this. When I took off the tape, there's some areas where the paint got removed. So I need to fix that. But yeah, this room is actually cleared out, which is amazing. But we did that for the party. So this is definitely the cleanest it's been in a very long time. But yeah, this was our big accomplishment this week, was really getting going on this room. We didn't finish, we wanted to, but there were some glitches as usual. But yeah, so Francis did all of the painting, and it's a chalk paint lime wash type thing. I think somebody had actually mentioned about lime washing the chimney. So in a sense, that's basically what we ended up doing. The fireplace here isn't finished yet. And the walls, as you can see, there's a bunch of areas that need like all the little touch-ups, and we still need to put the baseboards on. But in here, we're actually planning on mixing a little bit of the terracotta with the sandy yellow, and then creating basically a very light reddish sandy color to go back in manually through the grout to make this actually look like little clay bricks. And this whole color scheme was based on this one up here, which is one of the original clay bricks from the walls of the house. So if you go back to some of the other videos up in the attic, you can kind of see the carpentry and the brickwork. But basically this house was made out of these bricks. So that's kind of cool. And this whole room was kind of a throwback to like the original house, because when we opened up this door to get into my space after having closed the other one, this frame from one of the original passageways had been covered up. And so, yeah, so this whole room is kind of based on the fact that we have one of the original doorway passage frames. And then we're kind of using that brick, that clay brick as inspiration for the room. But it's hard to see, but the clay, the lime / chalk paint actually gives a really nice, like, terracotta sort of feel to this room. So that's really cool. And then we're kind of making it full circle in my space. Yeah, I'm still working on my little seedlings. My little tomatoes are doing very, very well. And then over here we have aubergines coming up. And these are the better papayas. I had actually put some outside, but the snails ate them. And this room will get a lot better once I get the shelving that's going to go over there. So in the meantime, I'm just working with what I have. And yeah, that kind of brings us full circle to the back of the house. So that is it for this week. I hope you had a good one, and I will see you next week. Bye.